students, this is Jyotirmay, Department of Biology. So today I came with a topic of food components. So in a previous class we have discussed about different components present in food. So what are the components present in food? The number one, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the carbohydrates present in our food, energy giving foods. And next, fats, also energy giving foods which provides energy. And next, proteins. Proteins are body building foods which help to build up our body. And next one, we discussed about vitamins and also minerals. So carbohydrates, fats, they give energy to us, but if you look at whether carbohydrates should take in a larger amount or less amount based on the consumption of food and based on the consumption of component. Again, the nutrients are again classified into different types. Today we look at about that, and also we will look at other materials also present in food. Now look at. So generally, carbohydrates, fats, proteins. These three are the components required for our body in large quantity. In a larger quantity, we have to consume these carbohydrate, fats, proteins because they require for our body. You see, your cell. This is your cell. Outermost membrane called cell membrane. In it, cytoplasm present. In a nutrition plant, we have discussed about it. And this is nucleus. So in any part of the cell, it is made up of majorly 70% of carbohydrates, fats and proteins. So that in our diet also should contain, must and should need to consume carbohydrates, fats, proteins, so that they require larger quantity to our body, so that they are known macronutrients which are required in a larger quantity are known macronutrients. Macro means large quantity which we take in a large quantity in our food. Okay. And next one, vitamins and minerals are micronutrients. What they are? Micronutrients which are required in a little quantity. Micronutrients. Micro means small. Mean these vitamins and minerals are required in a little proportion, so that they are also known micronutrients. But don't think that students, they are micronutrients, so if you won't take, not a big issue. We must and should need to consume. Okay, we must and should need to take these micronutrients along with macro. Then only our body activities work proper. So how we have to take these all in an equal proportion based on your age, based on your gender, based on your work. The consumption of food is to be taken. So your food must and should contain carbohydrate, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals all in an adequate proportion. If not, it becomes balanced diet. So in a previous class we have discussed balanced diet is also known. What is? Thali. So regularly take dry fruits, vegetables, leafy vegetables along with your rice or roti, chapati, whatever you eat. Along with that, consume all these. Then you get all nutrients, including with milk and milk. Okay. Then, other than these nutrients, what materials are required more? That we look at now. So, generally we require other materials are this is I think so fourth one. the food is known dietary fiber. What it is also known? Dietary fiber. It is known in normal language roughage. What it is also known? Roughage. So, generally, fiber is also known as thread-like structure present in food. The thread-like structure present in food is also called fiber, which helps in our dietary fiber. The fiber present in a diet called dietary fiber is also known roughage. You know, generally we eat every day regular in our life vegetables, leafy vegetables. Am I right? What we eat? Vegetables. And we also eat leafy vegetables. They contains generally dietary fiber. You know, generally if you are peeling cluster beans or abnormal beans, if not maize, corn, nothing but, and also cabbage, when you are chopping, you find a thread-like structure present in it. That thread-like structure present in it called dietary fiber. How it useful for our body? It useful for our body. It is very, very important, need to remember. Generally, if your food does not contain this fiber, thread-like structure, then your food becomes completely solid. Then it can't move freely in your esophagus. You know, your digestive system it starts with mouth. Your digestive system starts with mouth and ends with anus. So then I will try to draw the digestive system diagram. So this is your digestive system. I am drawing only just a rough diagram. So, just it is a digestive system. In the digestive system, it starts with the first part called mouth, and the last part ends with the anus. Okay. So you take food from your mouth, but after chewing the food, it should pass from a tube-like structure present in your body. That is chewing digestive system. It is known food pipe. It is also called esophagus. In food pipe, the food should pass freely. To pass the food freely in the esophagus shows a wavy-like movement in it. Like this. It shows a wavy-like movement. This movement is called peristalsis movement. What it is also known? Peristalsis movement. Generally, even in your anus also here, this is the last part of the large intestine is called rectum. What is this part called? Rectum. After completion of the digestion, the wastage comes to this rectum part. So when it reaches to the rectum, then from the feces the excessive water is taken and later it pushes the wastage to downwards through the anus. Further, it shows a movement. It also shows a wavy-like movement to push the wastage to down. So this kind of wavy movement is also known bowel movement. So for the bowel movement, for peristalsis movement, here we require roughages in our regular diet. So every day if you are consuming milk, egg, meat, whatever this may be, also take along with it vegetables, leafy vegetables, any plant product. Then it will be useful for your body. Okay. If you are not taking your diet, then it leads a problem called constipation. What is the problem known? Constipation. This is very important if you remember. Constipation. What is the meaning of constipation? Constipation is nothing but generally some people they do not go for free motion in the morning. Generally in the morning we go for free motion, right? In the washroom. But some of the people they suffer with a problem like they won't get free motion. Sometimes it may get stopped for 2 to 3 days. They get motion for 2 to 3 days once. Then the condition is called constipation. This constipation is prevented by intake of this roughage. If you won't take this roughage, then you get this problem. So must and should need to take roughages in our diet. Then only we get free motion every day. Is it clear? So this is about roughage. And we look at about water next. The next one very important for our body is water. Water is very important to our body. Whether you are adult or a child, must and should need to consume for a day 3 to 5 liters of water. Need to consume 3 to 5 liters of water. Must and should. If you are not consuming 3 to 5 liters of water, then your body temperature is not maintained, your skin, your eyes, body muscles, everything not be in a moist condition, and all biological activities not takes place proper in our body, because our body is 70%. 70% of our body is made up of water, and 90% of our blood, 90% of our blood is made up of water. So if you take water proper, then your body temperature being constant. What is the body temperature? You know, 37 degrees Celsius. Sorry, am I right? Yes, 37 degrees Celsius and 98.4 Fahrenheit. Am I right? And it keeps our body in moist condition all the time. See, your eyes, muscles, bones, even your skin, everything is maintained moist properly by consumption of water. And next one, it serves as a solvent for nutrients and delivers nutrients to the body. If for example, you are consuming food every day and the food is to be digested. The digested food to be dissolved in water. Later, the dissolved nutrients are carried to different parts of the body. Then, number of biochemical reactions takes place and number of activities done in your body. What are the activities done? Respiration, movement, circulation, like different activities should be done. To run all that activities in your body, you must and should need to take this water. It also acts like a mediator, carries material from one part of the body to another part body. Do you understand? So to pass the material in your body, then you must and should need to take water. What materials are passed? You are taking carbohydrate, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. All these are digested properly in your digestive system. Later, they become into simpler form, into glucose, amino acids, fatty acids and vitamins, minerals are to be carried to different parts of the body to do different activities in our body. For that, we must and should need to take water. If you have consumed water, then only all the nutrients dissolve in that water and are carried to different parts of the body. Do you understand? So, water has a great importance in our body along with all the other remaining nutrients. And roughage is also very important. If you consume all these properly, then we will be healthy. If not, no. To know about the importance of water, there is an experiment given in your textbook. Okay, the simple experimentation. What we have to do? Just take a bottle. Okay, in that bottle, just take any one cloth and fold it into double and try to dip in the bottle. Generally, it becomes difficult, but just try to make it wet. Okay, just put it in water and later fix into the bottle. Then it becomes very easier task to do it. Do you understand? So how water helps? Water helps to pass the food into the body, when into the digestive system even. Water helps. Do you understand? So take water every day properly. Understand? So generally we now knew about different components and how they are important to us, and we need to consume balanced diet every day. In adequate proportion, all the nutrients are to be taken into our body. But now we knew and now we know how to take a balanced diet. But olden days, people did not know about this balanced diet and about nutrition. Then who said about the different types of nutrition and different things about the nutrition, and which scientists said? Now we look at. Okay.
Go.
So the history of food and nutrition, just to look at, generally in the previous ages, people did not know about the importance of nutrition. Later, the importance of nutrition was explained by Lavoisier, the first person. He lived between 1743 to 1793. He explained about the importance of nutrition to the world. We have to consume the food properly, then we become good. And next, about James Lind. He explained about in scurvy in 1752, about scurvy. Just now I told you, and in a previous class I told you that vitamin C deficiency causes scurvy, weakness of joints and gums of the teeth. That can be cured by intake of fresh fruits. He did not mention that C vitamin containing foods, but he mentioned fresh fruits, fresh leafy vegetables, fresh vegetables. If you consume properly, then you can be overcome from the disease known as scurvy. And later, in 1952, some of the scientists said certain kinds of foods are to be taken to cure different type of diseases. And not only that, overall the 19th century, finally after one by one, scientists started researching about it and said there are the nutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals are to be consumed properly to our body, then need to give properly to our body, then we will be healthy. If not, you people are having everyday junk foods, pizzas, burgers and packet foods all, then what happens? Our body becomes ill. Am I right? So avoid outside foods, have homemade and enjoy all the nutrients and be healthy, be happy. Do you understand? So students, I hope you understood what is the lesson of food and components. Just try to do something food at your home. In your textbook they gave about making of khichdi, but how many of you like khichdi I don't know. But try to do any favorite food of your favorite food and send me back your videos or photos. I'll post it in group. Okay. So thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.